family lounge by their Hamptons beach house pool. For 2 weeks, I'd maintain my cover as their temporary housekeeper, observing their reactions to my financial troubles, while my superyacht anchored just over the horizon. "Anna," my mother called using my fake name, "the pool needs scrubbing again. And do try to be thorough this time." I hid my smile as I grabbed the pool brush. Through my tinted sunglasses, I could see my vessel, the 300-foot Azure Dream, floating elegantly beyond their view. "At least she found suitable work," my sister Patricia remarked, adjusting her designer swimsuit. "After that embarrassing investment scheme failed." If they only knew that my failed investment had built one of the world's most successful luxury yacht companies. My newest design was revolutionizing the industry. "The deck chairs need straightening too," my father added without looking up from his newspaper. "The help these days simply doesn't understand proper standards." I kept my expression neutral, remembering their mockery when I'd left my prestigious banking job to start my marine engineering company. They'd called it foolish. I called it visionary. My phone buzzed silently, another update from my captain about tomorrow's reveal. Everything was proceeding perfectly. "Remember when she wanted to design boats?" Patricia laughed to her friends. As if anyone would trust her with serious maritime engineering. My phone vibrated again. "Crew ready. Yacht in position." Through my sunglasses I watched the Azure Dream's sleek profile catch the morning light. Tomorrow they'd learn exactly what their housekeeper had engineered. "Such a shame," my mother sighed to her social circle. "We tried to guide her toward respectable pursuits, but she insisted on this nautical nonsense." I smiled slightly, scrubbing the pool's edge. My nautical nonsense had just redefined luxury maritime design. Miguel, my head of operations, appeared at the gate in a maintenance uniform. He was the only one who knew my true identity here. "Everything's prepared," he whispered as I took his cleaning supplies. "The crew awaits your signal." "Perfect," I replied quietly, watching my family bask in their presumed superiority. My phone lit up with another message. "Media boats in position offshore. All channels confirmed for tomorrow." I adjusted my uniform one last time. In less than 24 hours, they'd learned that their pool cleaner had engineered the most advanced superyacht in the world. The sun began to set, casting golden light across the water and silhouetting my yacht's elegant profile. My family had moved inside for their evening cocktails, still issuing orders for their housekeeper to handle. "Anna," my father called, "prepare the deck for dinner. And make sure you polish the railings properly this time." As I wiped down their modest deck furniture, my phone buzzed again. Yacht spotters reporting online. Speculation about Azure Dream's presence growing. "Such a waste," I heard my mother tell her dinner guests. "She could have had a real career in banking, but instead I built something extraordinary," I whispered, watching my masterpiece float gracefully on the horizon. The evening wore on, each family member making sure to remind me of my station. Patricia even left me a condescending tip. "For your boat dreams," she smirked. If she only knew that her tip wouldn't cover even a minute of fuel for the Azure Dream. As twilight deepened, the yacht's subtle lighting system activated, creating an ethereal glow just visible from shore. A few guests pointed out to sea, wondering about the mysterious vessel. "Probably some tech billionaire," my father remarked dismissively. "New money, no taste." Miguel appeared one final time, tablet displaying tomorrow's sequence of events. "Should we illuminate her fully?" he asked quietly. "Give them a preview?" "No," I smiled, folding the last of their dinner napkins. "Let them sleep tonight thinking they know exactly who I am and what I'm worth." The next morning I stood at the bow of the Azure Dream as we glided closer to shore. The yacht's revolutionary design, all clean lines and elegant innovation, drew gasps from the gathering crowd on the beach. "Ms. Reynolds," my captain approached. "Your family is on their deck watching our approach. They're trying to determine who owns the vessel." I checked the shore through my binoculars. My family stood clustered on their beach house deck, all pretense of breakfast forgotten as they stared at the approaching superyacht. "Begin docking sequence," I ordered, removing my housekeeper's uniform to reveal tailored sailing attire. "Let's show them what their cleaning lady built." The Azure Dream's innovative propulsion system hummed silently as we maneuvered into position, our shadow falling across their modest dock. That's impossible, I heard Patricia's voice carry across the water. That's the yacht everyone's been talking about. The most advanced vessel ever built, my father added, squinting through his own binoculars. My mother clutched her coffee cup. But where's Anna? She needs to clean the breakfast dishes. Actually, I spoke through the yacht's sound system, my voice carrying clearly to shore. Anna has other responsibilities this morning. Their heads snapped up as I appeared on the upper deck, no longer hidden behind cleaning clothes and tinted glasses. Catherine, my mother gasped. Welcome aboard the Azure Dream, I smiled as our gangway extended elegantly to their dock. Though you might know her designer better as your recent housekeeper. The coffee cup slipped from my mother's fingers. This is some kind of joke, Patricia stammered. No joke, Miguel confirmed, appearing beside me in his proper executive uniform. Just revolutionary marine engineering from the industry's leading innovator. My father stepped forward. But you were cleaning our pool. Market research, I replied, gesturing for them to board. Best way to understand luxury lifestyle needs is to observe them firsthand. They walked up the gangway in stunned silence, taking in the vessel's groundbreaking features, each one addressing needs I'd noted while serving as their help. The stabilization system, I explained, leading them through the main salon, was inspired by watching Patricia struggle with seasickness on your small boat. The eco-friendly power system? Developed after hearing Dad complain about fuel costs. But your failed investment, my mother began, generated the capital to build this. I finished as screens displayed the Azure Dream specifications. While you thought I was scrubbing your deck, I was revolutionizing marine engineering. My phone buzzed with updates. Yacht magazines requesting features, buyers offering blank checks, industry awards being announced. Your little boat project, Patricia whispered, is now valued at over $3 billion, I smiled. Those dishes I was supposed to clean this morning? They cost less than one of our anchor chains. The tour continued, each innovation highlighting the gap between their assumptions and my reality. The staff quarters they'd relegated me to wouldn't qualify as a storage space on the Azure Dream. The pool you had me scrub, I mentioned casually, leading them to our infinity pool suspended between decks, inspired this design. Though ours adapts to ocean movements and purifies itself. My mother touched a railing tentatively. All those days watching us. I learned exactly what luxury vessels were missing, I confirmed. Every complaint, every inconvenience, every limitation of your beach house, they all went into this design. My captain appeared with updates. 3 more sales confirmed, each over 9 figures. Now, I straightened my designer sailing jacket. Would you like to see where your housekeeper really lives? The owner's suite took up an entire deck, its innovations making their beach house look like a cottage. The cleaning supplies closet, Patricia said faintly, where we had you sleep. Makes an excellent reminder, I smiled. Sometimes the best perspective comes from the bottom of the social ladder you thought I'd fallen down. Their faces reflected the dawning understanding that their household help had been quietly revolutionizing luxury maritime travel. 1 month later, the Azure Dream's success had transformed the luxury maritime industry. Orders for our revolutionary design stretched years into the future, with billionaires and royalty competing for build slots. I sat in my yacht study, reviewing designs for our next innovation while anchored within view of my family's beach house. The contrast between their modest dock and my vessel's elegant profile told the story perfectly. Ms. Reynolds, my captain entered. Your family is requesting permission to come aboard. They've been waiting at the dock for an hour. I checked the exterior cameras. They stood clustered at the edge of their property, looking up at the yacht that had redefined maritime luxury, and their understanding of their failed daughter. Let them wait another 15 minutes, I said, approving plans for our next revolutionary feature. They taught me plenty about waiting while I cleaned their house. When they were finally brought aboard, they found me in the main salon, discussing sustainable maritime technology with my engineering team. Catherine, my mother started, then stopped, taking in the space that made their beach house look like a cabin. Please sit, I gestured to the custom-designed furniture. Though you might want to check the seats first, unlike your deck chairs, these are actually clean. They perched uncertainly on the edges, surrounded by the luxury their housekeeper had engineered. The Hamptons magazine profile. Patricia began. From housekeeper to maritime mogul. I smiled. An interesting perspective, though they missed some details about my market research methodology. My father cleared his throat. Your company's valuation. Past $5 billion this morning, I confirmed, pulling up the data on our floating holographic displays. It turns out understanding luxury from both sides, service and engineering, creates quite a valuable perspective. My phone buzzed with updates. Another Royal Commission, another industry award, another revolutionary patent approved. The beach house cleaning position, my mother said carefully, has been filled by an actual housekeeper, I replied, though I did enjoy my time studying the limitations of shoreside luxury. My captain appeared with more reports. The Saudi royal family's custom build is ready for review. And Forbes wants to feature you as Maritime Innovator of the Year. Schedule both, I nodded. And please show my family what we've done with traditional crew quarters. Their faces fell as they saw how even our staff accommodations surpassed their beach house amenities. All those days, Patricia whispered, watching you clean. I was learning, I confirmed. Every complaint about your boats, every limitation of your property, every dismissive comment about maritime engineering, they all became design solutions. The screens around us displayed the Azure Dream's impact, our innovations reshaping luxury vessels, our technology advancing maritime sustainability, our design philosophy influencing global architecture. The cleaning uniform, my mother said softly, hangs in my office, I replied, next to our patents and awards. Sometimes the best designs come from understanding both sides of luxury living. My phone lit up again. Reynolds Maritime Group redefines luxury industry giants follow revolutionary lead. We never saw. My father began. You saw what you expected to see, I finished. A failure cleaning your pool instead of a visionary studying your needs. The yacht systems hummed silently around us, each innovation addressing a complaint I'd heard while serving as their help. Your newest design, Patricia asked hesitantly, will make this vessel look primitive, I smiled. Amazing what inspiration can come from scrubbing decks and folding towels. As they prepared to leave, my mother turned back. The charity regatta next month will be hosted aboard the Azure Dream, I confirmed. Don't worry, we have excellent cleaning staff, though they're paid rather better than you paid me. After they departed, I watched their small boat motor back to their dock, dwarfed by my vessel's elegant shadow. My phone buzzed one final time. Maritime Industry Revolution. Reynolds Group sets new standard for luxury and innovation. I smiled, remembering their words. At least she found suitable work. They were right, I had found suitable work. Studying their limitations, understanding their needs, and building something that transcended their understanding of luxury. Standing at the rail, I watched their beach house, once the symbol of success,